I'm out here in the garden just trimming up this rose bush that I've got right here. This rose bush, I need to prune it, get it in shape. And I wanted to share with you the few things that have busted out in the garden here at the end of October. It's just a few days left of October of this year. And look at this beautiful clematis. Isn't that beautiful? And then over here, I'm not going to be able to get up there and show them to you because they're pretty high up. But I can see them from my window. I'm trying to share them with y'all here. I don't know if you can see those two big, beautiful roses right there. I am taking a break from my apple chores to come out here and enjoy the fall. But I've got a rake here if I can point them out to you. These beautiful roses right here. Right here's one, and then there's one right over here in the back that's real big and pretty. They are yellow roses and they have a pink blush to them. They're really pretty. They're called the Peace Rose. I was just out here trying to figure out what I'm going to do with a lot of stuff out here, making garden plans to clean up. And I saw those beautiful, beautiful two plants, and I thought, well, I got to share them with you. Got to show you the beauty in the garden right here at the end of October. And I don't know what it is, but something out here is just smelling really good. Oh yes, I do know what it is. I forgot about the angel trumpets. The angel trumpets are still blooming. Of course, there's been some cold nights, so they're nearing the end of their bloom. But they smell beautiful. They smell really, really good. They turn a little orange after they've been on the tree for a little bit. They've come out and they're bright yellow. Right there's one up at the top. You can see it's bright yellow, and then when it's been out for a little bit, it darkens to this orange color. It's really pretty orange color. These little ones here are blooming. These here are blooming. There's some bright yellows and some that hadn't came out yet, and then some that have finished their bloom. Very, very pretty, very fragrant. I thought I would come out here and just enjoy the beautiful garden blooming, what I've got out here blooming right now. It only blooms for a short time. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to miss it. I want to enjoy the beauty while I can. It's afternoon, it's evening here, so I've come out just to see what's out here and to enjoy what we've got blooming. Beautiful angel trumpets, they're lovely. And they're very, very fragrant. Very strong smell. Donald and I went to the farmer's market this morning, and I found a fig tree there. Fig tree was on my list. I don't know if you guys remember from the time that I shared with you, but a fig tree and a peach tree are on my list to add here to the property. And this is the beautiful fig tree. It's a good sized one. They had them there at the farmer's market for $25, and then I checked back at Home Depot, and they had them for $37.99, and they were about the same size. This one looks like it's a really good size. Gotta say hey to Ollie. He's gonna whine for attention if we don't speak to him. Now, this little fig tree was laden with figs. Of course, it's not going to have time for these to ripen. It's time for frost here where we're at, so these figs won't have time to ripen. But I know next year it'll probably have this many or more. I wanted to put it right here beside of the house. On the south side of the house, I've got these angel trumpets. They're pretty big. They take up quite a bit of space right here. For some reason, I was thinking that there might be some room to put the fig tree, but I realize now that it is not going to be room to put the fig tree here against this brick wall. And that is the south side of our house. This angel trumpet right here hasn't bloomed. I don't know if it'll bloom this year or not, but it's actually a pink angel trumpet. It has pink blooms on it, and it's very pretty. The frost might get it before it blooms this year. But we're going to have to make some changes if we put the fig tree right here beside of the house. I will probably have to move this pink angel trumpet to a different location. But I was happy with the one we got. It's a good size. It's established and it's locally grown, so it should do well right here. And that's all that's going on that's worth anything. I've trimmed back some of this climbing rose bush here. There's a lot of dead in here. It's time to cut it back. I'm not going to leave it any longer. It's time to get in here and start thinning all of this back. That's the hummingbird vine. And look at this blue ageratum. It was really pretty. But it's time to get in here and cut all of this back. The elderberries are dried. Their leaves have changed and their leaves will fall off soon. There's a lot that needs to be done in here as far as digging up or just pulling up a lot of weeds in here. I wanted to share with you the rock my sister gave me that's heart-shaped. This is the big rock that Donald took off with in the back of his truck. I've got a few plants that I need to repot before it starts getting cold. And there's just a few things to clean up out here. I've got these rocks to add to some of the low points that I've got in the garden. Some of the walls, you know, need a little bit of beefing up here in different areas around the border. And I've got a few more rocks to add in different places, so I'll be doing that in the next few days. I'm tempted to clip those roses and just take them in the house. Right here are a few more buds on these roses. Really, really pretty. They'll bloom before you know it if the frost don't get them first. The frost may get them. Now this rose bush has already bloomed once, so this would be its second blooming. Really pretty blooms. I've got to clean up this area right here. There's quite a bit of stuff that I have to clean up right here of the passion fruit vines. They're all coming down, and so this area will be cleaned up here before we know it. I've got the beautiful lamb's ear. It still looks beautiful. And then a few flowers here. The sedum is finished blooming. I've yet to get that in the ground because I wasn't sure where I was going to put this. I wasn't sure how I was going to get the sedum, you know, where I wanted to plant it. So I have still got that to do. Cut all this down. The geraniums, it's time to go ahead and figure out if I'm going to save these, overwinter these geraniums or not. I may try to do that this year. May try to go ahead and get that done. Got to cut all this down and get this stuff cleaned up. Get it all settled, the front flower beds, for winter time. I don't have a gardener. It's just me and Donald. Sometimes Donald's here to help do it, and sometimes he's got other things to do. And I'm just kind of juggling around all the things that I have to do at this time of the year and trying to get all of the gardening chores done too. But they're a priority to me. I love gardening. I enjoy it, so it's not like it's not a good thing. It is a good thing to be out here and deciding what to do and where to do it. I want to get out here and clean up this my little gardening area right here and go ahead and get things ready for the winter. There's some of my things that did not make it this year that I was hoping would make it, but that's how it is every year. Not everything makes it. But the ones that do bring beauty and joy and keeps me coming back and keeps me gardening year after year. I cannot believe it's already the end of October and November is starting. And with November will come a lot of things to do. Be a lot of holiday plans, be a lot of things going on. And that'll just bring more work that needs to be done. So I have to schedule things and work things in. And that's okay. That's just part of life and having a full life, isn't it? But stepping out, I wasn't expecting to find so much beauty left. I thought everything would be just dried up and gone. I wasn't expecting to see that beautiful clematis or those beautiful peace roses. But they were certainly blooming out. Things are dying back, turning brown. And it's time to just go ahead and cut everything back and start planning to give it its winter rest. And that's what I'm doing now. Of course, the knockout rose, it will bloom until frost. It'll continue to bloom all the way up until frost. And the camellia will be blooming. Even if it ices, this camellia will have beautiful pink blooms on it. And that in itself is something to look forward to. That's something really beautiful to see that beautiful pink bloom come busting out when it's really icy cold. It's just such a strange experience, but I'm looking forward to that bloom. And it's loaded with blooms this year. It has plenty of blooms. Buds. Plenty of buds that'll turn into blooms. And of course I harvest these and dry these and use them for other things. We did go to Home Depot today, but I did not get any more stepping stones to go on the path to the new One Day Future potting shed. I needed 2 right here. And you know the potting shed is going to be right here one day. But I did not pick up any stones to go there. I had my mind focused on other things. I did look at the fruit trees. I looked at the peach trees, the pear trees, and another apple tree. But I didn't buy either one of those. I'm not going to buy either one of those until I decide what it is that I want to put and where I can fit them into this landscape of mine, how I can fit them in on this city lot. So I ended up not buying any fruit trees. We have a pretty good sized apple tree that's in the backyard. It has not provided fruit. It needs to be pruned. There are a few bits of fruit that are on it, but none that are really a good size to eat. So we've got one planted near the garden. We've got a little apple tree in the garden. Of course, it takes about 7 years for the apple trees to start making fruit around here. And I think we probably have enough apple trees. We've got those 2. I think I might consider a pear and a peach. That might be the next 2 trees that I need to get and fit. Now the peach tree I want to put somewhere on the south side of the house so it can be good and warm. And the peaches can be good and sweet, get a lot of sun when it's time for them to ripen up. So I may put a peach tree out here on the south side of the house. And maybe fit in a pear tree somewhere in the back. But I'm just considering that. I may not have room for either one of those. I'll have to just see how things go. But the cleanup process out here in the front yard, in the front gardens, is activated. It is time to get it done. My day off is tomorrow, but I will be keeping one of my little grandchildren who's not going to school. He's sick, not going to school. So I will be keeping one of my grandchildren tomorrow. But that wouldn't be a big deal. He could come out here with me and get him some vitamin D while I'm out here working in the yard, out here working in the gardens to get some of these weeds removed. So tomorrow may be a full work day for me out here in the front gardens. As long as the weather cooperates and it's not raining, we'll see how that goes. Well, I wanted to share with you the beauty that I've got out here tonight. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying all these little beautiful things that are continuing to bloom. And some things have surprised me today, and I wanted to share them with you. I hope you enjoyed looking around the garden this afternoon. Thank you for joining me, and like always, until next time.